Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think Duncan would have just got me here. I feel like I had to be like somewhat of a good basketball player to get here. So whenever I have a chance to showcase my other abilities, I try.
Zion Williamson is making waves. I know it's only preseason, but he's already taking the league by storm. It's time we look at why Zion has been so good in the preseason and the one thing no one is talking about. What is up, dudes, dudettes, ballers, players? It's your boy MJ. Zion has been dominant in preseason. He's already taking bodies.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
That was a good
His last game, he dropped 29 points on 92% from the field in 27 minutes. He's like a finisher in NBA 2K20 with maxed out badges. Now, a lot of people expected Zion to be solid from the start, but it's almost as if no one can stop him, so I want to break all this down. Drop it like for the amount of lobs Lonzo is about to throw Zion, 6,143. It's pretty realistic. I'ma be opening packs live tonight and streaming the 2K tournament on my second channel tomorrow, and I just want to thank all the new subs. I'm taking a gap year to get these videos out, and if we could hit 420,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I might be able to take another year to focus on YouTube. So to the 91% that watch my videos that still aren't subscribed, Ben Simmons just made a 3. So could you please subscribe? The NBA has become a league where players are expected to do a bit of everything. Forwards and big men are expected to shoot from the perimeter. We just saw Steven Adams drain a 3. NBA Twitter bullied Ben Simmons into taking a 3. They're expected to be able to dribble a bit, to stay with guards in the perimeter, and at the same time, bang down low and finish at a solid rate. Don't get me wrong, if you can add more parts to your game, that's great, but it shouldn't come at the expense of other parts. This also doesn't mean that you stray away from what makes you good in the first place. If you look at Zion's shot chart from the last game, he isn't one of those players that is a jack of all trades. Some people have a problem with Zion taking all of his shots inside the paint, but I see it as a good thing. Look at this shot chart. Red means above average shooting percentage, blue means below average, and the larger the size of the square, the more shots took in this area. Out of 1,229 shots, 1,090 came from the paint. Who was this? That's Shaq from 2001-2002. But obviously that's not modern NBA right now, so look at this one from a player last season. You can see that there are shots all around the court, but everything is focused on the paint. This player took 1,248 shots in total, and 912 of them came from the paint. Who is this? That's Giannis Antekounmpo. Zion's exceptional in one area, and that's what makes him special because he is focused on pushing that one area to the max. It's similar to how Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had an unstoppable move. He didn't need to be super quick. Shaq had size and was dominant without the whole shooting or super quick handles thing. I'm not saying that Zion is on their level, but these are players that were so good at one thing that they were some of the most dominant players ever. They also had a secondary skill that they could rely on, which I will get into. We all know that Zion's vertical is crazy. He was measured to have a 45-inch vertical with a weight of 285 pounds. But what stands out more than his vertical is his speed, and in particular his acceleration. With a weight of 285 pounds, he's heavier than guys like Joel Embiid, who is 249 pounds. Even if Zion lost 20 pounds, that still makes him heavier than one of the more dominant centers in the NBA. There's only 2 players in the NBA that are heavier than Zion, and that's Boban, who's 7'3", 290 pounds, and Taco Fall, who's 7'6" without shoes at 289 pounds. Zion's 6'6". And he's moving as fast as a guard. What that does is create an incredible amount of force, which is literally equal to mass times acceleration. Forget the vertical for a second. The Wall Street Journal analyzed Zion's speed and acceleration and said that the force of taking a charge from him is similar to a head-on collision with a Jeep traveling 10 miles per hour. A Jeep! We're seeing that NBA players aren't able to stay with Zion, especially when Zion gets a two-step head start. The defense starts sagging off of him, daring him to shoot, but in doing that, they are actually giving him just the space he needs to accelerate, and then players are just bouncing off of him. I think this is what was sort of expected when we saw Zion jump out of the gym in high school. Now, Zion is a creative finisher. He still is predominantly using his left hand, but he brings the ball low, out, and then brings it up. His hang time allows him to do so much with the ball in the air before putting it in the hoop, which is special. What wasn't expected though was Zion's off-ball movement. Zion is in the right place at the right time, and that isn't luck. We all knew that he moved around a good amount in Duke, but this is on another level. In Duke, a lot of times he was the primary ball handler that would just run a pick and roll, but now he's just moving off the ball. He's moving around, always ready for the pass. His first step is so quick that if he gets free for just a second, it's enough for him to explode, and Lonzo has been moving the ball around to everyone. In fact, this Lonzo and Zion pairing seems to be working so well because Zion is a willing off-ball mover and Lonzo is a willing passer wanting to get his teammates involved. That sort of culture is contagious, and so Lonzo inspires a lot more movement from everyone along with his unselfishness. These handoff actions that the Pelicans run also allow Zion to get downhill and crash the paint. He doesn't take much time to get into his moveset either. It's usually a quick jab into a 1-2 dribble into a layup, but it all happens so quickly, and the defense doesn't have time to react. The main point here is that Zion sticks to his game. Shooting 12 of 13 all from the paint is a sign that he knows what he's good at and how to be effective, and he's extremely confident in that ability. Zion is simplifying the game and making it less complicated. You don't need all the handles, the shooting, as long as you're effective. As a rookie with so much pressure to perform, Zion isn't trying to perform. He's just playing his game and isn't going away from what made him successful. He's embracing it. But the one part of his game that no one is talking about, and something that I said last year, is his playmaking. Players do need some sort of secondary skill, or basically insurance, if the defense goes all in to stop what they're best at. If defenses came at Shaq and double teamed him, or if Shaq was getting fouled with no foul calls from the refs, he would use his soft touch around the paint to shoot some post hooks over the defense, meaning he didn't have to only dunk it or get in the restricted area. With Zion, it's his ability to make quick decisions when he gets the ball. In the game against the Bulls, Zion had been dominating the paint, so in this play, after the roll, Zion has got the attention of 4 Bulls players, and he's already looking up and seeing Derek Favors in the corner. He takes one dribble, the Bulls players close in on him. Now Zion could probably rise up and take the shot, but instead he does a drop pass to where Derek Favors will be, and he gets an easy bucket. It's plays like these that impress me more than some of his dunks. Zion is unselfish, but more than that, he's using his gravity to actually make plays for others. Are the Bulls some great defensive team? Heck no. But in this game, they were all focused on stopping Zion. I mean, even in the first quarter, this spin move gets 3 players surrounding Zion with a 4th player watching. Instead of forcing a tough shot, he passes it to the open shooter in the corner. These are all efficient plays. Zion isn't holding on to the ball or just looking for an opportunity to pop up. He's going and creating the opportunity after 1 or 2 dribbles. And these are split-second decisions that he's making as he reads the defense. Zion is more than just a finisher, and it complements his finishing game. If the defense isn't giving him all this attention, then there's no need to be a playmaker because he can finish right through them. If the defense does wall up in the paint to stop him from finishing, then Zion can find those open players. This doesn't mean that Zion can all of a sudden run an offense because he can make those passes. He's not really calling plays or directing players. He doesn't have some crazy handles. He can already put the ball down on the floor, and that's good enough for now. Zion doesn't need to be able to do all that just now. He's not a point guard. He doesn't immediately need to be able to shoot outside the paint. The reason Ben Simmons desperately needed a shot was because he's the point guard of the 76ers, who's the primary ball handler and needs to be able to shoot if the defense just starts leaving him open to guard all passing options. We don't need to make Zion into a point guard. He also doesn't need to have a post game just yet because that just takes away from the explosiveness he already has. Zion can develop these in time, and eventually he should, just to make him better. But to say that it will make or break his career is going too far. Zion has impressed me, but not because of his dunks, but because of all the intangibles that come with his athleticism. He's using his athleticism in the right ways, but in case he's getting stopped from crashing inside the paint, he's making the right decisions instead of forcing the issue. I'm excited to see Zion, but not because of his hype or his size, but because of his IQ and how he's using those talents. But what do you think? How will Zion do this season? Will he be the Rookie of the Year? Drop a like for Zion dunks cause they fun. I'm gonna be streaming tonight and tomorrow on the second channel, so stop by cause why not? And if you're still here, you a real one, so comment IQ so I know. The Instagram shout out of the day goes to Sebastian, and the all-day notification shout out goes to Harambe. Thanks for the all-day support. Make sure to hit the bell for all your notifications, and if you're not a sub, hit that subscribe button, join the all-day community for more fire content, all-day support. It's your boy MJ. We out.
Okay, just hop in my spaceship. Okay, just hop in my spaceship now.